Hey everybody, Patty Ann here again today. Hey, a girl named Kelly wrote to me and said, "Hey, Patty Ann, I love your videos. Can you please help me? I want to put my kids' handwriting, I want to put it into embroidery stitches." So I said, well, I've never done that before, but I love a challenge, so I'll give it a try. So one of the kids' name is Avery and one is named Grace. And she just sent me these two images. They're a little fuzzy to work with, but I was able to do it. And here's what I came up with. Just using Stitch Artist Level 1, I think they turned out beautifully. So let's go up to the software and I'll show you a few tips and tricks on how to do this. Okay, here we are in the software, and as I said, you only need to have Stitch Artist Level 1 to be able to do this, although I have a lot more stuff on here than that. But to do this, we're going to go up to the Create, right here, click on that, and that allows us, well, oh, it was already open, sorry. Go to Create, it's already open. That allows us to come up here on the upper left-hand side where it says Image. I'm going to be able to bring in an image, and I'm going to bring in the photograph that Kelly sent me of Avery's handwriting. So I'll click on that and say Open. All right, now I know this is my, which hoop is this? My 5x7. I'm going to make this bigger so that you can see it. You can decide what size you'd like to make your stuff at the end. But here is the name Avery, and this is on the page. Now, one of the first things I can also do is come over here to the Objects panel. With this image selected, I can change its transparency down here in the Properties panel. Maybe I want it really dark, or maybe I want it very light, so mostly I can see my stitches, and that's the way that I like to do it. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come way up here, and I'm going to click on Draw with Points. And I am going to scroll in more, but rather than scrolling, I'm going to hit the 2 on my keyboard, or maybe the 3, and that kind of jumps me in really quickly. Now, I am only going to be using the curved points right now, and I'll come back when I'm all done. It's going to look kind of icky. I'll come back when I'm done and fix things. So watch. So I'm going to come up here, as I said, Draw with Points, and I'm just going to click. I'm only doing right now curved points. Even though it's going to look a little messy, you see that right there, we're going to come back at the end and fix that, and you'll see what I'm saying soon. So I'm just going around, not putting very many clicks or nodes, because it's a lot easier to edit it if you haven't done too many. Now, almost to the end. Go over here, click right there. And when I'm all the way down to the end, I'm just going to right click to end it, and there it is. So you can see it's pretty messy right now. So now I'm able to click on this and fix some of it. So this I can kind of fix. Now I can tell you that since this is coming right down, okay, like this, it's going right here, and this is a curve, so see when I do one side, the other side gets done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this into a cusp, which makes it make sharp angles, or it allows me to go one way and then the other. So now when I take this little handle here, I can just move it by itself, and I'm not moving all of the rest of the stuff. So you can see how I'm able to do this, hopefully. And that's looking much better. I could click on this one, and if I want to move it over a little bit so it's on the line, and this looks pretty good. I could drag it out a little bit. Okay, once again, I can see that I'm coming up to one of these things that if I click on this node and I move this side, it's going to move the other side. So I don't really want to do that. So what I'm going to do is, again, is to right click on this one, and instead of it being a curve, I'm going to make it a cusp. So that's going to let me take this handle right here and just move it down in the place I'd like it to be. Same thing for this bottom one down here. Notice that the line goes straight in and straight out. It changes direction like that. So I'd really rather that be a cusp. so that I can do that more easily. And I think I'm going to need to come down here to this handle, and let's see. I must not have gotten that changed to a cusp. How do I know that? Because every time I do something to this handle right here, this handle moves. Watch. And that's what happens in a curve. When I change this to a cusp, right click and say cusp, that won't happen anymore. So if I move this one, notice it's not moving the other handle at all. Okay? So then we can do this one if we want and move it like that. All right, hold down my space bar and move over again. Here we go again. Let's bring this one down like that. And we can still move this up so it stays on the line. And now that looks pretty good like that, actually. So I'll come around here, whoops, no, come around here a little bit and change this guy, make him come down on the line. Make this one come over a little bit more. This one come up like that. Okay, and this one around. It's looking really good. Click on this node. Bring that like that. Hold down my space bar and move over again. Can move this guy over a little bit. This like that. This could be moved over a little bit. This one looks like it should be a cusp because I want it to go in here and change direction and come back down. Because I think if I try to do it with this, I'm going to get a twisty in there and I don't want that. So I'm going to right click on it and change it into a cusp. That again is going to allow me to work with each one of these little handles separately, putting it exactly where I want it to be, like that. And then this one also probably needs to be a cusp. Whoops, I've got to click on the node, right click. Right click on the node and change it to a cusp. So now I should be able to fix this well. Oh, got to scroll down here so I can get this handle. There we go. Let's see this guy, like that. And now this is a curve, but that's working okay. This one I could just move out like that. Space bar and move. This looks pretty good until we get up here. And this again is a curve because remember I used all curves to start with. So I might just want to change that into, right click on that node, change it into a cusp, which allows me to move each side independently or by itself. See how I can do that? Perfect. Move this guy down a little bit. These look good. Here's another one. Looks like it's going to change directions abruptly. So I'm going to change this into a cusp. Once I click on the node, there we go. And I can make it a cusp. Again, I need to hold down my space bar so I can get up here a little bit and drag this down like this. And move this in a little bit here. Whoops, too much. Go back there. And then I can take this guy and move him in. And this. That looks perfect like that. Let's bring this up a little bit. And I can click this. Click this node. And get this little handle to make it a little rounded. This one right here, let me move over a little bit, holding the space bar down again. This one right here, I definitely want to be a cusp because it's going to go in, change total direction, go the other way. So I'm going to right click and say cusp. And now when I click on this, I must not have had it clicked right. So I need to right click on it in cusp. Now I should be, there we go, perfect. I can move this down a little bit. Move this out again, move this one up this way, and just move that like that. Okay, to me, that is looking really good. But let's scroll in. Now I can use this bar to scroll in, or I can hit the number 1 on my keyboard, which scrolls it in a lot. If I don't want it in that far, I can go to a 2 or a 3. We'll just leave it like that. Now I'm going to hit the space bar, which turns my cursor into a hand and allows me to move this over this way. So now what do we have? We have lines. she wants it to be stitches, Kelly does. So all I have to do is click on the word line and come up here and make it a run stitch. Now, the last thing that I used here was a single run. I wanted to be thicker than that. On my sample, I did a bean stitch, and I actually left the length at 2.5, but I made it a 5-pass bean stitch. And then the other thing that I did was I came over here to make sure it tied in when it first started, and it's going to tie at exit. Tie at entry and tie at exit. Okay, so let's hide the picture and see how that looks. Okay, to me that looks really, really good. I might have wanted to do one thing. Just move this guy a little bit down further. There we go. And so I'll go back to the 2 and move it over with my space bar. And let's see. Oh, I love that. I think it turned out really nicely. And I think she'll be happy with that. So the other one that I did obviously was the one with Grace, but it was done the same way exactly. And that's all there is to doing handwriting. I think this would be a really nice touch to give someone as a gift. Put it on a pillow, put some words on there. I don't know if you could do like a really, really short recipe. I don't know. Let me know if you guys have any ideas of how you could use these below. Oh, I think Kelly said she's going to use it on a Christmas ornament. And I'd love to see or know more about what she's going to do. Maybe she'll post in our Facebook group. Kelly, I hope this helps, and anyone else that's interested in doing this. Remember, you just need Stitch Artist Level 1. Check out my links down below if you're interested in getting Stitch Artist Level 1 or any other Embrilliance pieces. And I appreciate it. Thanks for joining me. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Remember, I'm trying to get up to 70,000 subscribers. Oh, it's amazing. Hey, well, no, I'm not going to say it. Never mind. All right. Thank you again. Bye for now.